Welcome, everybody. Hello. Hello, everybody. Welcome. People are slowly coming in. Feel free to throw out any questions you have. Hello. Welcome to the room. Hello. Welcome to the room. Guys, we're just waiting for a few people to come in. We can jump on the topic. So if you guys have any questions, feel free to throw them out there. So if Sasquatches exist in North America, how many do we think are here? I personally would be surprised. I'd be surprised if there was more than 5,000. I'll put it to you that way. I mean, with as little as we see them, as little video evidence and things like that we have, they just can't be very prevalent. I think we all know that there's not just one Bigfoot. Obviously, there's clans of Bigfoot, and they're most likely subterranean. But I'm thinking somewhere in the 3,000 to 5,000 range is reasonable. But if you guys have any questions, comments, feel free to throw them out there. I think it's fair to say that time and modernization, the industrial era, has choked or stunted the growth of the Bigfoot Sasquatch community. Welcome everybody to the room. Feel free to throw out any questions, comments. I don't have a Squatch to interview at the present moment, but if I did, what do you think I should ask him? I think I would ask him to clear up some of this nonsense about them being associated with aliens and interdimensional portals and time travel, whatever other conspiracy type narratives are involved with a Sasquatch, which is most likely a flesh and blood creature. Well, I mean, I think that the Sasquatch as a whole have seen us commit so many atrocities. I don't think that they are very trusting of us, and rightfully so. When the second we get the opportunity, we're going to see a Sasquatch or a family of Sasquatch in a zoo somewhere. I can't stand zoos. I won't go on a rant about why I hate zoos, but I can't stand the idea of the Sasquatch being cooped up in a zoo. But like I said, I almost feel like it's inevitable at some point. You guys feel free to throw out any comments, questions, anything you want to talk about. You know, I never knew that Texas was such a hotspot for Sasquatch, but actually that Texlahoma area is absolutely just huge with sightings. I've never been in that area. One day I'll get over there. I guess it makes sense. I mean, anywhere where you can find a pocket with a large enough forestry section that is sort of untamed, untouched, that sort of thing, mixed with any sort of cave systems, I think you're going to find a large amount of Sasquatch activity in that area. You guys don't be shy to appreciate Cousin Eddie or the Christmas tree topper. You got the Bigfoot up there. And feel free to throw out any questions, comments, whatever you want to talk about. And tell us where you guys are from. I'm curious what states we're talking to. Where is Jefferson? Is that like northeast Texas? Good question. Uh, Bigfoot Input is based out of Central Florida, the home of the swamp ape, or skunk ape. We are actually in the Ocala National Forest, right in the middle, which is very much a hotspot area for skunk apes. Gotcha. Texas is on my list of places I want to go to, but Texas is so big. It's one of those places you gotta visit like 3 times or so just to get an idea. Hey, it's an English stir. All right. Um, I've heard through my travels that England is not a hotspot for Sasquatch. I don't exactly know why that is. It has to have something to do with your geographical location. Again, I don't know much about the terrain or topography of England, but I don't think it's known for its large forestry areas. Am I wrong? England, Ireland, France, Europe, that whole area right there is just not an area that's ripe with Sasquatch sightings. Now, if you get further east, then you're going to get, into the Tibetan Mountains, into Russia, into Indonesia, where they have the orang pendek. And then if you get over into China, they have the Yiran. And then, of course, the Yowie in Australia. But, like Africa and Western Europe, not so much. Yeah, bewildered. That's what I'm hearing, is that it's just not a thing in that culture, in those areas. The lore is not there, first of all, and that may be because they're physically not there. It could have something to do with the land bridge, and I don't know. I guess it just depends on the amount of time that's gone by and their particular travels. Obviously, I don't believe that Sasquatch is an international traveler, so they would have had to have been bred there, grown up, essentially evolved in that area. That's obviously another place I'd love to visit, though, is England. I love the romanticism of the idea of visiting a very old, 300 or 400-year-old pub, to me, that's one of the coolest things. I would love to do that. So one of these days. Right. And that comes back to the topography of the land. I just don't think you're going to find enough cave systems, enough deep forestry to house and support tons of wild animals. And of course, that, like you say, that would be a food source, and a huge lack of a food source. So maybe they were there at one time and didn't survive, died off in that area, or just, maybe they were just never there. Like I said, it's very possible that they just never migrated that far, um, or migrated to that area. Makes you wonder how the hell they got to Australia, though. I mean, the Yowie is big in Australia. So how did they manage to get there? I don't have an answer for that question. I have no clue. That's a mystery. I think that's gonna have to just go down with the ages. I don't know. You guys, if you're just joining us, shout out. Tell us who you are, where you're from. Have you ever seen a Sasquatch before? You know somebody that has? You have a question about Sasquatch or any cryptid, really? Anything paranormal? I don't care. We'll talk about it. You want to talk about Cousin Eddie? We could talk about that. Or the big ass Sasquatch on the top of my tree. Whatever you feel like. It's kind of easy, like Bob Ross. Bewildered. I see so many videos every day that I'm not differentiating which one you're talking about in my mind. Uh, there's a lot of stuff out there right now, so I guess you might have to be a little more specific. And I could say yay or nay. Right now, nothing from Ohio is coming to mind. Although, you know what? Actually, let me take that back. I think I know exactly what you're talking about. You're talking about the guy that's hiding behind the tree and he's talking to himself the whole time as he sees the Sasquatch go by. Is that right? Okay, yeah, I know what you're talking about, and no, I have not had the opportunity to look at that footage yet. Um, yeah, okay, well, BC Truck saw it. No, I did see it pop up on my news feed a couple times. I haven't had a chance to dig into it. There's a lot of stuff going on out there right now. Um, I'm not entirely sure why or what. Like, I'm not. I guess I'm outside of the joke, but there's this joke about, like it would only happen in Ohio or something to that effect. And we have a video from Russia. It's a Russian car commercial that depicts a Sasquatch kind of tossing this guy around, and they fall down a hill, and and I found the source and I posted it. That video has blown up for some reason. I can't figure out exactly why. Something's going on out there in the world that has to do with this video. This video. But no, I will check out that footage as soon as I get the opportunity, sometime tomorrow, and we'll dig into it. Just today we posted some old footage from 1995. I think it was fake. I'm not 100% sure on that. I'm rarely 100% sure on anything, but it looked kind of fake to me. It was, like I said, it was from 1995. It was this old Playboy lady who, her film crew supposedly took some footage of a Sasquatch. The Redwoods footage is what it's called, and it just wasn't very impressive, honestly. I mean, I always say the footage that you get is the footage that you get. It's not about, it doesn't have to be quality. No one can tell you what your footage is going to look like, but man, sometimes it has so many flaws. You got to call a spade, You know what's crazy about this whole thing? I'm not used to doing Facebook or YouTube Live, but it's like I've always considered myself to be a fairly interesting person. Like when I talk to people, they listen, and they'll sit down and listen to what I have to say. And I've always, just like, oh, well, I must be fairly interesting. Here on YouTube Live, it's like if people don't want to listen to you, they just leave. So, you see the number of people kind of come up, and then all of a sudden they're like, nah, and they just leave, and they're like, they're not interested anymore. And it's also weird because you kind of feel like you're talking to yourself a little bit. But we're going to give it another 30 minutes, and we're going to try to do this at least every other Friday. I don't think I can swing every Friday, but every other Friday we'll try to do a little segment like this and see if we can get the community talking. Again, welcome to everybody that's here. 2 a.m. All right, buddy. Well, you've earned it. Good night. Yeah, well, I got that newfangled internet Wi-Fi stuff, but streaming live is still new to me. I don't really understand all the ins and outs of it, but it's something new we're trying for the channel to see, if we can generate some conversation out there in the Bigfoot world. In fact, this all started because last week I just hit live and I was like, okay, we're live now. And a few people had asked if we were going to do it again this week, and so here we are. And then I don't know, I got to get a better setup because right now I'm kind of just holding my phone facing this tree, and my arm's a little tired, but I did it for almost 2 hours last week, so I can get through an hour tonight. We'll give it another 30 minutes or so. See if there's anything interesting anybody wants to talk about. Until then, we'll look at Cousin Eddie and my Christmas tree. There's my bamboo over there too, by the way. Growing like a weed. Good night, buddy. Thanks for joining us. Oh yeah, he's in Texas, so it's 8 o'clock there. It's around 9 o'clock here. And some of us have to work in the morning, but I committed to doing this, so I'm going to do it. Let's see, until we get a little conversation going here, I'm going to take a quick pause, and I'll be right back. If anyone is still listening, I had to get another beer, and I'm back. I'm not sure what I'm gonna do for a background when Christmas is over.